Everybody, welcome back to the wonderful Hogwarts Legacy, and in this video we're going to be looking at how the Room of Requirement works, this amazingly powerful place that you unlock later on in the game. Now, we are going to be giving away some spoilers here, so if you don't want to see any spoilers, turn off the video now. But talking to quite a few people actually playing Hogwarts Legacy who have unlocked their Room of Requirement, I don't think everybody's making the most of it, because it can be a little bit confusing about what you can put in the Room of Requirement and what it does for you, how you upgrade it and that sort of thing. So your Room of Requirement can look very, very different to my one, but essentially it's your base for the game, and it's a place that enables you to become, up to a point, self-sufficient in creating potions, and also having like the aggressive plants, the combat plants like the mandrake, the cabbage, and the venomous tentacula. Now, excuse me, let's just have a quick look round. So here we have this device here. This creates moonstone for me, and moonstone is the resource that you use to create more things, conjure more things in your Room of Requirement. And it doesn't have to be all practical like this. You can spawn in like picture frames, tables, chairs. You know, there's a whole other section to it that you can make like your own common room. These are potting tables, and in these I can add seeds and then grow plants that I can use in potions. This is a chopping table that automatically gives me an ingredient for a potion. It's random though, so we don't really know what they're going to be. This is the magic loom, which you unlock again a fair way into the game, and this enables you to upgrade the gear you're wearing by adding traits and just upgrading it by weaving magical things into it. This is another thing that gives me more moonstone. And then this thing, I can't remember what this thing does, but when you pick up clothing and it's got the question mark, you come here and this will tell you what it is, and you can decide whether to sell it or keep it. And here we have another forge for doing the moonstone. Right, now this is where things get really cool. So these are potion stations. Once you've done the potions lesson, and then you've come here and you've talked to the little dobby fellow here, I can't remember his name, you can then conjure these in, and as long as you've got the right ingredients and you have the recipe, you can make potions. Now these are really good. These are hopping pots, and these I think it's every 9 minutes create a random potion that is completely free. Now they're quite expensive to buy these things, I think about 3,000 gold coins, but again it gives you the ability to have free stuff. So we talked about these are sort of different sizes of sort of growing tables. So there's a mandrake, there's some shriveling fruit, again that's used, you take that in certain potions. There's another mandrake, there's a shriveling fruit, whatever that, there's a chomping cabbage, and there's the big venomous tentacula. Now I'm not finished yet. Later on you'll unlock this area here, the bestiary, probably got a different name, and this is where you can free the animals that you've captured. They're all coming over. Look at this. And these fellas, if you look after them, so you feed them and you groom them, you can then take let's groom this fella. You can then take what the kind of thing that they're known for. So this Puffle thing, he'll give me his puff skin fur, so I can take that now. This Thestral, if I do the same to him, he'll then let me have some Thestral hair, which is good. They all have their own little thing, and depending on what you know what you need, you can go and capture the relevant animal and then be nice to them, and then you can then take the Javanol feathers again, and these are all ingredients that you will use in potions, or you will use to upgrade your clothes to make them better. So that's kind of, so as you can see, it's really powerful, the Room of Requirement, and it's a lot of fun as well. And I tell you, if we go down here, this is the bit that I haven't done anything with yet. So this is the bit you could add more machines. You have a budget of machines. You can't have loads and loads of potting tables, for example. You do have a limit of how many you can put in. But I could add sort of tables and chairs and all sorts of different stuff in here. You can change this. You can change it and do whatever you like, basically. So, how does it work? Well, obviously, you have to have the room of requirement unlocked, and then for certain items here, you have to have done the relevant lessons as well. But once you're kind of on your way with that, what you're going to be doing is the kind of gameplay loop is you're going to be going to Hogsmeade, and you're going to be visiting Tomes and Scrolls. Now, Tomes and Scrolls will sell you the blueprint or the spellcraft to then conjure the relevant, let's just call them machines, into your room of requirement. So you can spawn in the potting tables, or the chopping tables, or the hopping pots. So you're buying the blueprint for money. You need to have money to get them off him. So when you buy them, you can then put them in your room of requirement. If you then want to brew potions, you've got to visit J. Pippin's and buy the recipe for that potion. So you can't grow, you can't make a potion until you get the recipe for it. Once you get the recipe for it, you can then, as long as you've got the ingredients, make that potion. So that's how you do that. Now, as for the ingredients that are going into those potions, if you want to grow plants, if they're normal plants, so normal herbs and normal plants, you get the seeds from the magic neep. And once you've bought a packet of seeds off him, or a sack of seeds, as far as I'm aware, they go on forever. They're infinite. You don't need to keep buying them. You can keep buying compost if you want, if you want more of a yield, but I don't think you really need to do that. So that's from the magic neep. And then, if you want to grow things like the chomping cabbage, or the mandrake, or the venomous tentacula, you go to dogweed and deathcap, and you buy the seeds there for those. And again, once you've bought the seed pack, you don't need anything else. And some of these blueprints, some of these spellcrafts for the machines are quite expensive to buy. But once you bought, say, the one that gives you the moonstones, you don't have to buy it again. You just conjure those up to the limit of either the moonstones that you've got, or the budget that you're allowed to have. I think you're allowed to have 3 of those, for example. And once you've done that, they just work automatically. And then the way it works is that while you're playing the game, everything in your room of requirement is clunking away and creating those things. And then you go back and you pick the stuff off and you go off an adventure. Now, when you turn the game off, it doesn't run. It's not like you come back 2 days later. Time stops when you log off. Also, time stops when you're in the pause screen as well. So where I am now, the timers wouldn't be going down. So there's nothing wrong with going to your room of requirement, picking all the things you want, going off and having your dinner, and then coming back and you'll find you'll have a load of extra free stuff as it spawns in. So there we go. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of how powerful the room of requirement is, and how packed yours should be with various potting tables, potion stations, cutting stations, and the like. Brilliant. Well, hopefully if you've enjoyed the video, you'll hit like. If you've got any questions or comments, put them down below. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.